What's up everyone? Zach got a smack over the head, a brand new head of household has been crowned, and Rylie is under fire for more creepy comments. But what's new there? We've got so much to talk about, so welcome to your live feed update. Right before we get started, folks, if you are new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I'm here every single day breaking down everything you need to know about what's going on in the Big Brother 27 house. And trust me, there's a lot that's changing and a lot of moving pieces, and you don't want to miss a single thing. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and I've got your back, alright? But also, folks, could you hit the like button? That one takes all of 0.2 seconds to do so. It's that little thumbs up down there, and just clicking that thing helps me more than you even know. As a smaller content creator, trying to get into the YouTube algorithm, all that kind of jazz, those likes, they really do go a long way. And I do put a lot of effort into these videos, so if you feel like buying me a coffee, please consider leaving a super thanks or hitting up my PayPal link in the description below. Let's get to the update. Question of the day now, folks, and this one is a fun one. When you become the head of household in Big Brother, you get to decide your album of choice on who you would like to listen to when you are head of household. Who would you listen to if you were head of household? I'm old school myself, so you'd probably catch me asking for a Frank Sinatra album or maybe something else from the 70s in the disco era, something like that. But yeah, you wouldn't catch me probably listening to anything before the 2000s. No, I'd be caught listening to it, but if I had my HOH basket, it would be Frank Sinatra almost hands down. Let me know who you would be listening to if you won HOH. Alright gang, we've got a juicy one for you today. Let's start out by talking about Zach. Oh sweet poor Zach. He made the blunder of not using his power, and it came to bite him in the ass. A massive congratulations to Keanu for winning the blockbuster. And let me tell you folks, I was going to talk about this yesterday, but of course I wasn't able to do an update. I was out of town. But one of the updates I was going to discuss, or wanted to talk about, was he actually talked about throwing blockbuster all day. He was talking about throwing it to keep Vince safe, and he was talking about... he was also campaigning for Vince quite a lot of the day. So he came in clutch there when he needed to win, and it sent Zach out the door. He got a swift smack on the head, just like the prophecy foretold. I'd been talking about that all week. Sam even mentioned it in Sam's scenarios this week on Wednesday, and then there we go. Marcellus finally passed along the torch in 2002, the year I was born, folks. That's going to blow a few minds. I was born in that year, and Marcellus got a smack over the head for not using the power of veto, but it's good to see that the spirit of old school still lives on, with Julie passing along the torch from Marcellus to Zach getting a smack over the head for not saving himself with his own power. I want to quickly address the wall comp, folks. I told you guys earlier in this week that the wall comp is coming after the backyard was shut down, and I still truly believe it was, but then we got some reports. I've seen some people who have, on Twitter, people who have a great track record of, finding out information early. I'm going to give the Great Hamster Watch a shout out. It sounds like because the wall comp leaked and everybody was talking about it, it seems like production switched it out at the last second, so it wasn't the wall comp that was the head of household competition. So I expect maybe the wall comp next week, the week after. But yes, it truly, I believe, was supposed to be the wall comp this week, but was switched out because of the leaks. It's a brand new week on Big Brother, which means a brand new head of household has been crowned, folks. And I can tell you, it's somebody who hasn't been head of household before this season. A massive congratulations. For the first time since 2011, Rachel Rylie has won head of household. A massive congratulations to her. She is not messing around. She is getting ready to go for some big targets. We're going to talk about that very soon. But again, for the first time since 2011, Rachel Rylie has won head of household. Massive congratulations to Rachel. Upon entering her head of household room, Rachel broke down immediately. The door swung open and she saw those pictures of Brendan, her husband, who of course competed on Big Brother with her, and her kids. She has been missing them so freaking much, and you can tell that they are a lovely, tight family unit who really care about one another. It's very sweet to see some family love in that head of household room right now. Not a lot of the house guests in there are parents. And it's always sweet seeing a parent get to see their kids. I just think that's lovely. And she clearly loves the kids very, very much, and her husband. So that was very nice to see. And of course, she got her head of household letter. She's got all of her amenities, all that wonderful stuff, as you do when you're head of household. But yes, it's been quite the journey for Rachel so far. She's been up and down and over and out. And I know one thing. See, I'm already singing Frank Sinatra there. I hope somebody got that reference out there. Please tell me. But yeah, I'm happy for Rachel. I really am, on a personal level. You know, I was thinking it was touch and go for a second on whether or not she would be able to win competitions. Now, you know, a lot of these older house guests, you know, they stay out of the game for a while, then they come back, and then it's more difficult for them to win competitions when they would win them constantly. I think of Janelle. You know, Janelle used to win back to back to back to back in the day, and then she came really close on All Stars 2. You know, that I think it would have been week 3 when they had that competition where you had to slide beers along this wooden plank, and then whoever got closest to the end without going over would win. And Janelle was leading the charge, and then Tyler beat her out. Tyler put her on the block, and then she went out. So that's a big what if to play there. But Rachel is in the same boat there. You know, she's a lot older than she was the first time around, and she's had a lot of qualms over these first few weeks about whether she is actually able to win a competition still. She had a breakdown a few weeks ago about that, and then she's been up and down about not wanting to go to the jury house and being away from her kids all that time. But she's actually finally got some power in this game, and I think she's very happy about it, and it's reaffirmed that she can still win competitions even though she's a bit of an older lady now. I wouldn't even call her an old lady, you know, older. She's older than she was back in the day, and I think it's been very affirming to her, and it's given her a bit of drive and more determination at the fact that she's came through and won it, and also the massive boost of being able to see her husband and her kids. Now, with Rachel as head of household, she of course now has some leverage to actually get some better connections in this game. Of course, she's tight with Ava, she's tight with Ashley, she's talked game with Kelly and Keanu, but she's kind of on a bit of an island. I'm still shocked that nobody has gotten her out, and that's testament to what's about to happen in this house, and I'm going to talk about that very, very soon. But she did sit down, have a conversation with Kelly about working together, and the idea of Keanu again was brought up in that conversation. That's almost 3 days of updates in a row that I've done where I've talked about how those three are thinking of coming together. I think Kelly and Rachel are more sold than Keanu is. Once again, I feel like Keanu is chasing the wrong side of the house, and he thinks that Vince isn't a threat, and he thinks that Vince has his back. It's just not true. Rachel and Keanu have this almost enemies to lovers situation where they're kind of honouring one another now, even though they're not massive fans of each other on a personal level. They're starting to actually acknowledge that maybe they should work together. More so Rachel than Keanu. But I like that because Keanu's grown on me massively as the season's gone on. Like, yeah, on a personal level, I get some people don't like him, and I totally understand that. But my guy Keanu is just, he's not giving up. And to me, I love somebody who doesn't give up and will fight at every single step along the way. It was touch and go yesterday when he was talking about throwing that comp, but he finally came through there. But yes, those three, definitely the chaos players of the season. Rachel Rylie, I mean, when you think of chaos and Big Brother, she is the name that gets brought up, maybe alongside Josh. But this season, Kelly and Keanu are the chaos, and a chaos alliance could definitely be brewing, especially with Rachel having power now. You can solidify those alliances more than you can when you don't have any power. So watch out for that one, folks. Kelly, Keanu, and Rachel coming together potentially as an alliance. Now, while many people have called Rylie creepy over the weeks because he follows Kat around the house and is like a rat up a drain pipe with her, as we've discussed many times, and also even Kat's family having even weighed in on the situation of Kat's aunt saying there's no love in the air. Kat's stepmom saying he'll never be my son-in-law. You know, there's a lot of people have spoken out about this one of not approving of Rylie and how he follows her around the house in almost a very creepy fashion. But a lot of people think it's taken a turn for the worse. I'm going to read out a couple things he said over the past day or two, over the past 48 hours, in terms of some more uncomfortable comments. To me, I think Kat likes him, but not as seriously as he likes her. I also feel like Kat is slowly starting to get more uncomfortable with some of the things he's saying. But here we go. One of the things he said was, "Don't ever let go of my hand when someone enters the room." Okay. I don't even know what to say there. Just, again, it's weird things like that. And another one was, I'm being with you outside of this, whether you like it or not. Yeah, I don't really, I'm not a fan of Rylie. I'm just not. He just reeks of desperation a little bit in my eyes. I just think that's a weird way to talk to a woman. Or anyone for that matter. You know what I mean? It's just a little odd. You know, and there's a reason everybody's getting riled up over it, and it's because everybody else finds it creepy. You know, I know there's a lot of people out there who would defend Rylie until the end of the earth because, you know, I'm sure some other people go about trying to court women in that fashion, but don't really manage it because it's not really a viable way to go about it. But some people will die on the sword there and stand on the way that is the way to treat a woman. But to me, I don't know. I just think when it comes to relationships, this is just my perspective. You know, I'm married now, very happily so. And I think respect is key so much of the time. And also listening to what your partner has to say and not shutting them down. And to me, while Rylie hasn't done a lot of that, I haven't seen a lot of respect from the guy. And we're all entitled to our own opinion there. And if I'm just being totally honest right now, I just don't warm to him. And I do think he is a little creepy. And I understand why people think that is the case, because he says things exactly like that. While last week's head of household, Ava, managed to get out one of her targets, Zach, it doesn't mean that she's stopping here. A lot of people take head of household and then try and blend back in, but Ava was already planting the seeds towards Rachel, as they are obviously like that. She wants Vince out this week. I think essentially Ava's seeing it as a two-part power play. You know, take out Zach one week and then take out Vince the next. It's absolutely insane how this game has been flipped on its head. I'm kind of blown away by... I understand a lot of people were thinking things were getting a little bit monotonous and stale for a second with just everybody kissing the ring of Vince and not doing anything. But the tides are turning. The people who actually want to take out power players are getting in charge, and not people who want to be told what to do when they're head of household. Lauren. So it's very different when there's actually people who are gung-ho about taking out big targets. These people should have taken out Rachel weeks ago. Weeks ago. The second you have the chance to take out someone like Rachel Rylie, you do it. But Ava, has been planting the seed to take Vince out. But I really don't think it's going to take that much convincing from Rachel. Let's talk about who Rachel's targeting and what her nominees are probably going to look like. Now, while it's hard to officially say 100% who Rachel is going to nominate, I think it's very, very likely that we could be getting a threat sandwich of Vince, Mickey, and Morgan. The three people who have been talking crap about people. The three people who have waltzed around this house like they're untouchable. The three people who... I would say Vince has been less mean than Mickey and Morgan, but Vince is top dog. He is top dog and he has been humbled, and he's about to spend 2 weeks on the block, having spent Ava's head of household right on the block and this one now as well. Vince, of course, would have targeted Rachel should he have won head of household again. But Mickey and Morgan, again, talking so much crap about Rachel, wanting to target her, so Rachel's wasting no time in grabbing the bull by the horns and taking out the people who would take out her. This, folks, is a classic example of you should have taken out this person weeks ago. I can't even state that one enough. Rachel Rylie, they've let stay in. She is now in week 6 and she is the head of household. They have had over a month to take her out of the game. They've had a month to even put her on the block, and they haven't. And now one of them is going to succumb to Rachel's head of household reign. Hate to say I told you so, folks. Not to you, but the folks being Morgan and Mickey. They should have done something. But here's the thing here. This is also a product of Mickey's terrible head of household reign. She isolated herself. She isolated Morgan by trying to jump into bed with Zach and Vince. But now Zach's gone, and they've got nobody backing them up because they turned on their own alliance. I talked about this weeks ago, and people going, Tom, you're making out as if it wasn't a bad move at all. Them sitting on the block this week, very likely, is a product of that move that Mickey made. If she hadn't have done that, they wouldn't be on the block because they would have all been still in an alliance together and Rachel wouldn't have had any reason to have put Morgan and Mickey on the block. Vince, yes, but Morgan and Mickey, they screwed themselves. They played themselves, and this is exact proof of it. This week, Vince, Morgan, Mickey are likely hitting the block together, and to me, I can't help but feel like on a personal viewer level of watching Big Brother after all these years of these people who sit at the top and get so complacent and cocky and think they're untouchable, they're about to hit the block, folks. That is all of your live feed updates for today, folks. I thoroughly hope you all enjoyed watching. Definitely a change up in the game for sure. This is, I can't remember the last time in Big Brother history where there was 2 weeks in a row of people taking big swings at power players. This is really impressive to see. I am absolutely dumbfounded at these people for having not targeted Rachel Rylie, and now she's head of household and she's going to take some big hitters out. It's Rachel. She's not going to back down. I don't even have a doubt in my mind for a second that she's going to back down and put like somebody who doesn't have much impact in the game up, like Lauren or Kat or Rylie or whatever. She's taken out somebody who is gung-ho and actively gaming constantly, and that's Vince, Mickey, Morgan. They are always the cogs are turning, and they should have taken out Rachel. That's all I can say there, folks. That's what happens when you leave her around and instead decide to take out one of your own allies, or you decide to take out Adrian, who isn't that much of a threat, or you take out Amy, who's not much of a threat. This is what happens. Don't get complacent in Big Brother ever, folks. I am building a postcard wall, folks, and also doing a mail opening video very, very soon. So if you want to send me something to open in that mail video, you still have time to get that in by using the address on screen right now. I hope to hear from you. I've had some packages come through of people who've sent me stuff from their hometowns. I've had postcards. It's wonderful, and I really want to hear from you, folks. Would love to get a postcard from every single state. But we've got a few super thanks to close things out. So first up, we've got the wonderful Connie C. Connie C, what's up, my friend? Connie C says, for 2 people who want to convince others they talk very little game, Mickey and Morgan talk at 16 to 20 hours a day, every day. That's exactly what I just said, you know? How do they have a voice? Forgot they also use hand signals. Voters for Danielle. That was the question of the day for the greatest player to never win. I am kind of with you there. Danielle Reyes is... Whenever people ask me who my 2 favourite house guests are or who my favourite is, I always say 2, Dr. Will and Danielle Reyes. I can never make my mind up, and I don't think I ever will. Love Danielle Reyes. Thank you so much, Connie. Next up, we've got the wonderful Katie Boatman, who is also a patron on the channel. Katie says, back to work tomorrow for me after a summer off. A new class of kindergarteners feels like the first week of Big Brother live feeds. Chaos, I can only imagine. Since I will have to actually sleep at night, I will need your updates even more. Wish me luck. I'm going to need it. Well, guys, can we all come together right now and wish Katie luck, doing amazing work. Sending so much love to teachers. Teachers are awesome. They really are. I've had teachers in my family. There's teachers in Sam's family. Teachers have been a constant part of both of mine and Sam's lives. So sending a lot of love to you, Katie, and a massive lot of luck to you. Can we all wish Katie some luck for our new kindergartners this year? Thank you so much, Katie. Next up, we've got the wonderful Jess is a Mess. I love that name. Jess is a Mess. I'm torn between Tyler from 20 and 22 and Paul from 18-19 as the greatest to never win the game. Thoughts on who you think would be more deserving of that title between the 2? Ooh, that's a good one. Thank you for your daily updates, or as I like to think of them, a daily dose of silly happiness. Much love from Seattle. Yeah, I'm glad my updates can bring some happiness. That's my intention. You know, we could sit here and be serious the whole time, but I like to think that we can deliver the information and take it all in while also having a bit of fun. So thank you so much, Jess. As for Tyler versus Paul, that's a fantastic question. Paul has a better average, you know, obviously having came runner-up twice, but that's the flaw in Paul's game. He doesn't really know how to manage the jury. Tyler, on the other hand, I wouldn't say he had bad jury management, but he got beaten out by Casey. But Tyler played pretty badly on All-Stars too, so it's hard for me. I would say Tyler is a more rounded player when he's locked in. Because he still made it deep in All-Stars too, but he just missed Angela back home and they're not even together anymore. And it's just... Tyler could have won if he locked in. And I would have preferred that to Cody. But... yeah, I don't know. Paul, I can't help but feel like even if he did play again, I believe Paul's pronouns are there, they would get to the end and probably lose against the jury again because they don't really know how to treat people very well. So I think Tyler is the better rounded player there. Thank you so much, Jess. Next up, we've got David Cushmore. I'm going to throw David's on the screen right now. It's pretty long, so if you want to pause and check out David's, here you go, folks. Thank you so much, David. Also appreciate always the Starbucks shout-outs that you do. They're always so much fun. Yeah, Alien Earth coming out. Again, I haven't seen a lot of Alien or Predator. I really want to check those movies out because I hear the classics, and of course, they're always pumping out more movies for those. So I definitely want to check those out. And again, another mention of Paul there, losing back-to-back. Yeah, that was brutal to watch. But also, it was a product of his gameplay, and I can't help but feel like that. I apologize there for misgendering Paul, but Paul does not know how to manage a jury, and that to me it's detrimental in Big Brother. You've got to know how to do that, or otherwise you're going to lose the game. It's as simple as that. Thank you so much, though, David. I appreciate you as always. Next up, we've got the wonderful Hattie Hash Browns. I love a hash brown. Damn, I want a hash brown now. Be right back, folks. No, I'm joking. Hattie Hash Brown says, Sam is such a doll. I love when we get to see them in your videos. It's great that you're finally together full time. Isn't Sam a doll? Sam really is a doll. That's old school speak there. Thank you so much. I'm sure Sam will really appreciate that. Sam's wonderful. And I'm so glad that y'all are getting to see a slice of Sam every single week now. Wonderful. Amazing human. So glad that y'all are getting to see that eventually. Thank you so much, Hattie Hash Browns. I appreciate you. Next up, we've got the wonderful Karen Foraker. Karen Foraker says, thanks, love that you're covering the challenge. Yeah, really enjoying the challenge, having a lot of fun doing that one. So thank you for your support there, Karen. I really appreciate that. Next up, we've got the wonderful Super Christian Meworld. Of course, I'm going to throw Super Christian Meworlds on the screen right now. Always some great insight into the game. I'm going to throw that on the screen right now. Love the reference to Mickey Mouse there. That is good. And you say BB Production needs to stop casting people who share the same name as beloved cartoon characters. I love how serious you got there with it actually being a complete joke. That is funny. But I want my childhood preserved, not tarnished. Always note to self, always use Tom's live feed updates while training to put on weight and muscles at the gym. I'm seeing an uptake of folks who are working out while they're listening to my videos. I never thought of myself as that, but maybe I've got a future in being one of those people on the Peloton bikes saying, come on, keep it up the hill, now, do it, faster, win HOH. If this falls through, maybe the Peloton bikes are calling me. Thank you so much, Super Christian Meworld. And then last but not least, we've got the wonderful Kimberly the Goat. Kimberly the Goat says, you are absolutely right in your assertions about Mickey. She does seem hateful when she speaks about others, and she went a step too far. Children should not be spoken about by anyone ever. Yeah, I didn't like when she brought that up, saying, I'm going to embarrass you in front of your children and husband. Like, it's just such a weird, specific thing to bring up. Sam did a fantastic job as usual. I would love to know the origin story of you two meeting. Have a great day. Thank you both for the update. Oh, well, thank you so much, Kimberly. Yeah, me and Sam, we talk more about it usually when we're on live videos, doing more, personal chats with people. The live videos are coming back, by the way, folks. Things have been chaos over the last few weeks with some stuff in real life that I'm not going to go into, but there's it's been unable for us for the last couple of Thursdays to jump on the lives, but they are coming back. Don't worry, they're coming. All right, so stick around for those ones, folks. But thank you so much, Kimberly. I appreciate you ever so much. Thank you for always being a light on this channel and being so supportive. I appreciate you, my love. But that's all we've got time for today, folks. I thoroughly hope you all enjoyed watching. I hope that you're all staying safe, staying positive, and staying healthy out there. And remember to be kind to one another. But in the meantime, please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, do all of that wonderful stuff. But until your next live feed update, I've been your host, Tom Vasey. Good night.